Hi, it's Barbara, and every week again, it's such a joy and pleasure to be here with you and read some excerpts of my favorite books. And for those of you who have watched book videos before, you know that I read a lot of books of Holocaust survivors, concentration camp survivors, genocide survivors, to deeply understand that people who went to those atrocities, to those horrible situations, how do they cope with it? How do they heal from it? And the book that I will be reading from today is written by Elie Wiesel. It's called Night. As you know, he won a Nobel Peace Prize, and he's the one who really was an activist for never ever forgetting what happened there in those concentration camps. Excerpt that I will be reading from is very touching and will give you a flavor of the depth and you could say the horror happening in this book. Then came the march back past the victims. The two men were no longer alive. Their tongues were hanging out, swollen and bluish. But the third rope was still moving. The child, too light, was still breathing. And so he remained for more than half an hour, lingering between life and death, breathing before our eyes. And we were forced to look at him at close range. He was still alive when I passed him. His tongue was still red and his eyes not yet extinguished. Behind me, I heard a man asking, "For God's sake, where is God?" And from within me, I heard a voice answer, "Where he is, there is where." Hanging there from this gallows, that night, the soup tasted of corpses. Every time I'm reading that excerpt, I'm moved myself. And I think it's very important. Reading these kinds of books will always deepen our compassion, because at this moment, at this second on this planet, some people are persecuted for no reason, just for being born in the wrong country, just for trying to have free speech. So that is always reminding me to stay very grateful for me to have been born in a free country, to not have been born in a war zone. It just brings me back to gratitude and to contribute, to try to contribute and use my life for, you could say, the lifting of others, for bringing that kindness and compassion into the world. So it's always a joy talking to you. It's always a joy reading to you. See you next week. Love you. Bye-bye.